Hello everyone and welcome to our third episode of our Meet TIGS series. I'll be going over the coding defaults section and how these defaults can be turned into different hotkeys for your own gain. So we'll just jump right into that right now. So as you enter the defaults section, you're going to see the first tab that you're going to look at is the general tab. So this tab has a few different options here which you can then select and kind of figure out what works best for you. So looking into here, if a skill is not inputted in the coding, it'll assume that the action was dug, but there's other options you can definitely add in there just in case for your environment there's a different action that you'd like to code there. You can also select where the default serve position comes from, so 1, 6, or 5, if you don't put one in. You can also select the different combination. After an attack, you can select a default combination skill, so it's the team's going to defend or block. And then you can also choose the default team that is provided without it. So if you don't add an action, if you don't add the home or away tab when you're coding, it'll automatically put home or away depending on which option you select. So moving down into the general hotkeys section, these are just hotkeys that we use for giving points. So points for the left team, points for the right team, substitutions and timeouts, and then home team and away team, the different hotkeys that we use to signify those different values. And then moving on to the skill hotkeys. So these are the different hotkeys for each skill. So right now they're just set up the same as the actual letter, with the exception of the setter call, which is actually V because K is used for something else as we move down here. So looking at the rating hotkeys now, these are kind of the ratings. If you know standard volleyball terms, like a 4-pass, 3-pass, 2-pass, 1-pass, you're going to see that as a double plus, or perfect is 4-pass, good is a 3-pass, okay is a 2-pass, poor is a 1-pass, so a minus, and then the double minus is the error, so that's a 0. And then other is kind of just depends on what you like to use other for. So for example, we like to use other for an overpass in a reception situation, but there's definitely other options you can use the other section for. That might benefit your team. So moving on to default ratings. So this is just the default rating for if a skill is not given. So if let's say that the serve is not given on the code, it'll automatically put it as a plus, which means that that the action was a positive action. And then for default speeds, as you can see here, for serve, it's a high speed. So and reception is high as well. This is just the general terms. I'll get into this more in detail when we look at coding a match. The set is a medium on default, but you can obviously change these defaults while you're coding to give more precise data. And then the free ball is obviously a high situation. So, and then we look at combination ratings. Won't go into too much detail here, but this is kind of saved for our coding section of the series. But basically, this is when only one rating is given, it's going to select the opposite. So let's say a reception is given as a double plus, so a 4-pass. It means that the serve was a 1 serve. Same thing here. If reception's a plus, it's going to be a minus on the serve. So this is kind of just like looking at the combinations of like, if you don't enter the serve value, but you enter the reception value, you can get those data points just as easy through the app. Moving on to set types. These are just the set types that we've came up with through our TIGS defaults. So for an in-system position 4 ball, so an in-system left side ball, we look at the code P1. It gives the origin and the speed. And obviously everything in here is customizable towards your team, so you can kind of select what you want depending on what makes the most sense to you for the set types and the setter calls. And you can add other set types as well if you think there's something in here that we've missed or that you'd like to just add for your own need. So that's kind of the overview of the hotkeys and defaults section. At the bottom here, if you mess up the hotkeys, you can just click TIGS defaults. It'll set it all to defaults. You can also click no hotkeys. So if you want everything to just be the standard terms of what you have, and then you can save that here as well. So yeah, that's the overview of the hotkeys and defaults section. In the next video, I'm going to be going over the general settings tab and how you can use that to your advantage as well through the TIGS app. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.